Counterpoint, the general knowledge music quiz, chaired by Paul Gambaccini.
Thank you. Welcome back to our College of Musical Knowledge as we once again take to the air with Counterpoint. One of these three amateur music lovers could make it all the way to the final and the 32nd Counterpoint trophy at the proms in the autumn. As always, our contenders never quite know what they're going to get. They'll need to demonstrate their breadth of musical interest as well as knowledge in detail if they're going to go all the way. Let's meet today's trio.
Hello, my name is Nicholas Brann. I'm a finance director from Wandsworth in southwest London.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Pearce. I'm a solicitor originally from Cornwall, now London.
Hello, David Sherman, hospital catering administrator from Chelmsford in Essex.
Welcome, all of you. In the opening round, you get questions in rotation on an unpredictable range of music and musical extracts. Later, you'll get to choose your own topic in which to specialize. The questions are worth 2 points each. If you can't answer it or get it wrong, I'll throw it open to the others for 1 bonus point. Would you go first, please? Nicholas Brann. Which acclaimed recent stage work was Michelle Obama talking about when she said it was simply the best piece of art in any form that I have ever seen in my life?
Tina Turner, the musical.
No. And David Sherman says?
Hamilton?
Yes, correct. It was Hamilton. And believe me, this is the room where it happens. Jeremy Pearce. Alexander Hamilton was, of course, one of the founding fathers of the United States. Your first musical extract is a piece by a composer who shares his name with another of those founding fathers. For your 2 points, I'd like his name and the title of the piece.
Don't know.
That was one of the most exciting nothings I've ever heard. And David Sherman says?
That's John Adams, A Short Ride in a Fast Machine.
That's right. John Adams, the second president of the United States, and John Adams, the composer. David, here's your own question. Which keyboard instrument shares its name with a different piece by John Adams, in this case a choral work, that was performed at the first night of the proms last year, 2017?
Harmonium?
Yes, 2 points. Nicholas Brann, back to you. The British singer you're about to hear has recently released the 19th studio album of her career, entitled Not Too Far Away. Here's a hit song from further back in her catalog. Who is she?
I sit here by myself and you know I love it. You know I don't want someone to compare me, see. I wanna be by myself. I came in this world alone. Me, myself, I.
Joan Armatrading.
That's right. Me, Myself, I was the title song of her 6th album and was a hit in 1980. Jeremy Pearce, when Joan picked her Desert Island Discs on BBC Radio 4 nearly 20 years ago, her top choice was the Van Morrison song, Madam George. That song first appeared on which Van Morrison album?
Don't know.
And Nicholas says?
Astral Weeks.
That's right. Madam George is from Astral Weeks. You pick up a bonus point. David, here's music for you. You might remember hearing the following melody as sung by Frank Muir in a famous TV commercial. But can you tell me which work of 1892 it actually comes from?
I think that's from Swan Lake.
I had a feeling you were going to get it wrong. Oh, Nicholas.
The Nutcracker.
That's right. It was from the Nutcracker. It was the Dance of the Mirlitons. Nicholas, here's your own question. Which famous London museum mounted the major exhibition Opera, Passion, Power and Politics, which opened in October 2017?
Victoria and Albert.
Yes! Either you knew it or you made a good guess. The exhibition was based around 7 key operas spanning a period from the early 17th century all the way through to the mid-20th. Jeremy Pierce, here's a well-known moment from the earliest of those operas in the V&A exhibition. Which opera is this?
Pearl Fishers.
I'm sorry, that was not from the Pearl Fishers. David?
Orfeo.
No, it wasn't Orfeo. Nicholas?
The Return of Ulysses.
No, it was not The Return of Ulysses. Shall we keep guessing? Actually, it's The Coronation of Poppaea from 1643. I said it was 17th century, so that pretty much narrowed it down to Monteverdi. David, staying with opera for a moment, a new opera called The Arsonists by Alan Edwards Williams received its world premiere in Salford in 2017. It's believed to be the first opera in which the cast are called upon to sing in a specific regional accent. Which accent?
Yorkshire.
Yes! You see, I told you, he didn't recognize the Nutcracker, but he can pull the impossible out of his hat. Nicholas Brann, for your next musical extract, here's a song that's best known in the hit version by the Supremes. For a change, we're going to hear it performed by a singer whose biggest hits include Reet Petite and Higher and Higher. Who is this?
Set me free, why don't you, baby? Get up alive, why don't you, baby? 'Cause you don't really love me, you just keep me hanging on. Woman, you don't really need me, but you keep me hanging on. Why do you keep coming around, playing with my heart? Don't you get out of my life and let me make a new start? Let me get over you the way you've gotten over me.
Jackie Wilson.
That's right, that was Jackie Wilson. Jeremy Pierce, there were several firsts at the wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle earlier this summer, and some of them were musical. Kate Sanford made history at that event by becoming the first woman ever to perform at a royal wedding on which instrument?
Trumpet.
Yes! This is obviously the season in which everyone guesses and gets it right. Kate Sanford is a lance corporal in the band of the Household Cavalry. And finally in this round, David Sherman. The undoubted musical star of that royal wedding was cellist Sheku Kanamason, whose performance while the couple signed the register sent his most recent album, Inspiration, to the top of the charts around the world. This is one of the cello pieces on that album. Can you name the composer?
Rachmaninoff.
I'm sorry, that was not by Rachmaninoff. Can anyone else pick that up? Nope. Shostakovich. We heard the Nocturne from the Gadfly. So, at the end of round one, we have in third place with 2 points, Jeremy Pierce, lying second with 6 points, David Sherman, and in the lead with 8 points, it's Nicholas Brann. And believe me, he's as surprised as anyone to hear that. In round two, our competitors face individual questions on topics of which they've had no warning. Some of the topics are specific and straightforward, others are less transparent and could include music of almost any kind with a particular linking theme. Gentlemen, you'll choose your topics in the order of your scores at this point. The choices today are operas with happy endings. That narrows it down. A classical music zodiac, a life on the ocean wave, nudity and music, DJs on disc. Nicholas Brann, you're in the lead in the moment. Which topic would you like?
I'll go for operas with happy endings, please.
And David, your choice.
Classical zodiac, please.
Okay. Leaving a choice of 3 for you, Jeremy. They are A Life on the Ocean Wave, Nudity and Music, and DJs on Disc.
Life on the Ocean Wave.
Okay, and I've never said the word nudity as often in one program in my life. Remember, this is an individual round. You can't pick up bonuses on other people's questions. We start with the contestant currently lying third. So, Jeremy, it's A Life on the Ocean Wave. As the title suggests, you've chosen a round featuring questions in some way connected with the sea. Which American new wave band had its biggest hit with Rock Lobster?
B-52s.
That's right, for 2 points. Here's your first clip of music. Can you tell me the appropriately watery title of this orchestral piece by Debussy?
La Mer.
That's right, La Mer, first performed in 1905. The first line of the song, Mac the Knife, or the theme from the Threepenny Opera, refers to which type of sea creature? No? Okay. Oh, the shark, babe, has such teeth, dear. And he shows them pearly white. All right, I'll stop. Listen to this extract, and afterwards, can you tell me the stage name used by the singer?
Big Scots bloke. Buzz or Fuzz or something like that.
His real name is Derek William Dick, but his professional name is Fish.
Fish.
He's the singer with Marillion, and that was their great hit, Kaylee. Which British composer's orchestral song cycle, Sea Pictures, was first performed at the 1899 Norwich Festival?
Elgos?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Here's part of a film soundtrack with a theme appropriate to this round. I'd simply like you to tell me which film franchise this comes from.
Jaws?
No, sorry, it's Pirates of the Caribbean. And finally, which Birmingham band's hit songs include The Riverboat Song, The Day We Caught the Train, and 100 Mile High City?
Waterboys? Not
No,
Birmingham.
it's Ocean Color Scene.
Oh, God, sorry. Yeah.
Don't apologize to me. They may be hurt, though. And in that round, you scored 6 points. Added to your previous 2, you now have 8 points. David Sherman, you have chosen a classical music zodiac. We start our tour of the signs of the zodiac, which will not be in chronological order, with Libra, the scales, in which cantata by Sir William Walton is the title character told that thou art weighed in the balance and found wanting.
That's Belshazzar's feast.
Correct. Aries is the ram who in life is likely to be surrounded by many sheep. They may sound rather similar to the sheep evoked in this tone poem by Richard Strauss. Can you tell me what it's called?
Is that from Don Quixote?
That is from Don Quixote for 2 points. Which American composer wrote the Capricorn Concerto, named not for the star sign, but for the house in New York State, which he shared with his partner Giancarlo Menotti?
That's Samuel Barber.
That is Samuel Barber. The sign of the lion is Leo, or Leo, as they would say in France, where it's also a popular boy's name. Which Leo wrote this duet, and in which of his operas will you find it?
That's by Leo Delibes. I think that's from Lacme.
2 points. Gemini, the sign of the twins, refers to Castor and Pollux, the famous twins of classical myth. Which French Baroque composer's opera Castor and Pollux was staged in a controversial production by E&O in 2011?
I'll guess at Lully.
I'm sorry, it's Rameau. And there goes the perfect round. Pisces represents fish, and you'll hear several in your next clip. In which work of 1886 will you find this aquarium?
That's from the Carnival of the Animals.
By
Saint-Saëns.
You're right. We end with Sagittarius the Archer. Which archer is the eponymous hero of Rossini's final opera?
William Tell.
And that's 2 more points. It is William Tell. And so, David Sherman, in that round you've scored 12 points. Added to your previous 6, you now have 18 points. Nicholas Brann, your round is Operas with Happy Endings. The Mozart opera, with the alternative title rendered in English as The Libertine Punished, ends very unhappily for the protagonist, but rather better for several of those he's offended during the course of the opera. Which opera?
Don Giovanni.
That's right. The Don is dragged down to hell. With the possible exception of the Yeoman of the Guard, all of the Gilbert and Sullivan operas end on a happy note. Which of them ends like this?
For he's gone and married young. Your anger preparing for all will be merry. I think you had better succumb. And to join our expressions of glee.
On this subject, I pray you be dumb. Your notions of many are not worth the penny. The word for your guidance is bum. You've a very good bargain indeed.
On this subject we pray you be dumb. We think you had better succumb. Goodbye, there are many who went for a penny, who went for a penny. There are lots of good fish in the sea. There are lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea. The sea.
The Mikado?
That is right, for he's gone and married Yum Yum from the Mikado. Which French composer's original 1868 version of Shakespeare's Hamlet ends happily, with the hero killing wicked Uncle Claudius and succeeding to the throne?
Bizet?
I'm sorry, it was Thomas, Ambroise Thomas. All ends happily for these two lovers at the end of Richard Strauss's Opera Der Rosenkavalier. Who are they?
Octavian and Sophie.
That is correct for 2 points. In Menotti's opera The Telephone, Ben can't get anywhere with his proposals of marriage to Lucy because she keeps being interrupted by her telephone. How eventually does he get round the problem?
I have no idea.
Well, make a guess, because actually there's a logical answer.
He phones her up.
Correct! Most fairy tales have a happy ending. Here's an operatic version of one. Which opera?
Hansel and Gretel.
That's right. Hansel and Gretel by Engelbert Humperdinck. Your last question in this round on operas with happy endings. The first two operas in Puccini's Il Trittico have tragic endings. However, the final part of the triple bill is a real charmer, with the young lovers and the title character coming out on top over a bunch of greedy relatives. What is the name of the opera?
Il Tabarro.
Ooh,
No.
The name of the one I was looking for was Johnny Skiki. Oh, mio, maybe no caro.
I didn't say that.
And so, Nicholas Brann, in that round, you had 10 points added to your previous 8. You now have 18 points. After the individual round, let's recap on how the scores now stand. In third place with 8 points is Jeremy Pierce. And tied with 18 points, both David Sherman and Nicholas Brann. It's on the buzzer in the quick-fire final round. There's still plenty of time for things to change. You'll get a point for each correct answer, but you lose a point if you buzz in and fail to answer correctly. We don't throw open questions for a bonus in this round, so fingers poised. Here we go. Which member of the Beatles wrote Here Comes the Sun? Jeremy Pierce.
George Harrison.
Correct. Who wrote the music of the 1862 opera known in English as The Force of Destiny? Nicholas Brann.
Verdi.
Yes. Opera North is based in which city? Nicholas.
Leeds.
Yes. Which musician won the 2016 Nobel Prize for Literature? Jeremy.
Dylan.
Yes.
Dylan.
Who are Andy McCluskey and Paul Humphreys? David Sherman.
Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark.
For the point. The radio presenter Clemency Burton Hill is the daughter of which, and Nicholas says,
Humphrey Burton.
And he's right. Which star of Hollywood musicals played Clayton Farlow in the original TV version of Dallas? And David Sherman says,
Howard Keel.
for the point, the mazurka is a dance that originated in the 16th... David Sherman?
Poland.
Yes, you anticipated the question. Toots Thielmans is best known for playing which instrument, David Sherman?
A harmonica.
That's right. What is the nickname of Mendelssohn's Symphony No. 3 in A minor? Jeremy Pierce?
Hebrides.
Oh, no, it's Scottish. Complete the quotation attributed to Gustav Mahler. The symphony must be like the world. It must... David?
Encompass everything.
Yes. Edward Kennedy, with the real forenames of which band leader? And David says?
Duke Ellington.
Yes. Who won an Oscar for his theme to the movie Shaft? And David says?
Isaac Hayes.
He's right. Which ballet by Aaron Copland features the sequence known as Hoedown? And Nicholas says?
Appalachian Spring.
No, it's Rodeo, -1. Which heavy metal group's only British #1 was Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter? David?
Iron Maiden.
You're right. In which opera by Richard Strauss does the heroine turn into a laurel tree? Nicholas says?
Die Frau ohne Schatten?
Oh, no, -1. It's Daphne. And finally, complete the late Robert Helpman's verdict on the musical review, Oh, Calcutta. The trouble with nude dancing is... You see, none of them chose the topic nudity in music. And they don't want to answer this one. The trouble with nude dancing is that not everything stops when the music stops. That brings us to the end of today's Heat of Counterpoint, with the result as follows. In third place with 9 points, Jeremy Pierce. Runner-up with 19 points is Nicholas Brann. Our winner with 26 points is David Sherman. And so it is David Sherman who will return at the semi-final stage and who knows may even make it all the way to our proms final. And a warm thank you to the other two of you for a most entertaining contest. It was down to the wire. Another trio of music lovers will be here at the Radio Theatre in London at the same time next week playing Counterpoint. Don't miss it. Until then, thank you for listening and goodbye.